Today's review is another great beer from Track. This is Gathering. It's a double IPA and it's very much hitting with New Zealand hops. But what's it going to be like? Keep watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we are drinking this beer. This is a Gathering from Track. Excuse me a minute. Oh, I haven't even had a beer yet and I'm already coughing. This is Gathering. It's a double IPA from Track. 8% as you'd expect from a double IPA. And inside this beer we've got Citra. That's the only non-New Zealand hop. We've got Motueka. We've got Kohia. We've got Motueka Sub-Zero Hop Kief. Or Kief. So, what's this beer going to be like? Well, let's crack it open, get it in the glass. Take the glasses off and see what it's all about. Now, I bought this one. I realised it had got this hop Kief in it, or whatever you ever, Sub-Zero hop Kief. And I had that in another beer a little while ago. What was that beer? Oh, it's a State of Play or I can't even remember the name of the brewery. But it's a new brewery, and which I can't even remember. And it had that in it, and I wasn't a massive fan. I thought it was a little bit too on the sharp side, but then I got this one, and I didn't make a note of what was in this. I just thought, oh yeah, I wanted to try some Track Double IPAs, and I sort of picked it up, and then I read it. I thought, I wonder what it's going to be like, but we'll see, because I thought that was, I don't know if it was that beer or it was the hop in the beer that made it taste very sort of, I don't know, it was like very sort of sharp to the bitterness sort of side. It was very sort of like biting into a lime from the outside, as it were. But anyway, let's talk about this beer. Beer in a glass looks absolutely lovely. Bright orange, very, very thick looking, very hazy. It is that sort of, it's almost like on the darker side of gold, really. Not quite, it's not your yellowy sort of custard. It's more your sort of Carabac colour. We've got just about a finger and a bit of head. Fairly well compacted, but there's some loose bubbles at the top. But I say that looks pretty damn good in the glass. Let's see what the aroma's like. Oh yeah, lots of that New Zealand smell. Lots of lime, as you'd expect from Motueka. And then there's that other sort of crisp fruits. I feel like I've say this in lots of New Zealand hop beers, but it is got that sort of what they call it orchard fruits, which is sort of apples and pears. There's also melon and gooseberry and all those sort of aromas. Smells good, smells inviting. Let's tuck in. Cheers, everyone. Oh, that's nice. Really nice. Actually, there is a difference in terms of flavour that I'm getting that's not common, I suppose, in beers with Motueka and New Zealand hops in. And that's the sweetness that sort of comes in and you're just not expecting it. And just when you think, oh God, that's a bit sweet, is that going to be too much? Then it sort of develops into a, I don't know, just a really sort of a burst of flavour. It's like if you ever had, think of showing me age here, think of Opal Fruits, now called Starburst, of course. The lime, one of those, you know. You get a big hit of flavour for that, but it's at the end of the day, it's a sweet, so you get that sweet, sugary taste as well. And that's similar to the flavour of this, and it's very pleasant. Yeah, really makes it really drinkable, really smooth, soft carbonation as you'd expect from Track. And I've just remembered it's a double IPA. It's very well disguised at 8%. It really does glide down. It's a very quaffable beer. It's really nice. I really like it. Yeah, I mean it's tangy. That's the way to describe it. There's no getting that lime flavour, but you know, as much as we've had Motueka and there's other sort of hops that's, you know, a lot of hops that have citrus fruits, sometimes they can you get that lime flavour, but Motueka is all about lime. And you'll definitely get lime as the flavour, as the core flavour here. But there's this sweetness in there. I mean, it really does, it really, the best description for it is imagine that lime, the green packet, the green wrapped Starburst, very much like that. It's almost to the point where the flavour sort of hits you with lime and sweetness. Then you get this sort of like, it almost like you're getting tempted with a little bit of like bitterness, almost like, again, like that sort of like a lime, what do I call it, skin? Yeah, the coating of the lime skin, is that the right word? Yeah, it's the skin. Is it skin? Yeah, skin. It's the skin. The stuff around the outside. You bite into that. Not you'd ever would bite into that, but or maybe you've had sort of like, if you had fresh lime and you know you're having a whole suck of it and you're getting that big hit, and it's almost to the point of sour. Almost, you've got all sensations: sour and bitterness, sharpness, all at once. You're getting that after the sweetness hit, and it's a very pleasant flavour on the palate. And it's a smooth beer. Really nice. And it's, sometimes you get to these sort of points where, yeah, I've had so many beers with New Zealand hops. I've had so many now. I've had quite a few double IPAs, and you do sort of get to the point, and I certainly do as a YouTuber, think, I'm going to review this beer, you're going to hear it all, and you've heard it all before, you know. And sometimes there are that cases where you think, yeah, that review could be reviewing many different IPAs. If you sort of put them all the New Zealand IPAs together, you would get a lot of the same sort of things coming out of my mouth. But this has got this is different. The one thing the double IPA is, it drinks like an IPA to me, if even that. You know, there's no real warmth. There's no it's not overly hoppy as well. That's the other thing I find with double IPAs. To get them right for me, they've got to hold back the hops a little bit. A lot of the time you think, oh, I want more hops, I want all that flavour, but sometimes you get too much hops, and if it hasn't been brewed properly, you get that little bit of burn from the hops, and it affects the flavour. This though is all about the flavours in there, the lime, the sweetness, the bitterness, all together, but it's a lovely sensation, the way that it sort of envelopes and develops. If I was being really critical of this beer, it's the lack of, I suppose, complexity. But if you're just drinking a beer for enjoyment, and let's face it, anyone watching this probably is doing that. You know, nobody's thinking, oh, I've got to review this beer and I'm going to describe all the different flavours I'm getting. You're not. You're just drinking it to enjoy it. This is a very good beer. I think this is one of the best double IPAs I've had from Track. And I think Track now are seen as the sort of leaders when it comes to double IPAs. They release a lot of double IPAs. Obviously, you've got their sort of gold top, which I only had one and I wasn't a massive fan of it, but I know they are popular. But they release a lot of double IPAs, and I think maybe there's a lot of very, very good ones, very above average ones, and some that just don't quite hit the mark. But this is, to me, is a very good one. Definitely worth trying. So Gathering, it's a double IPA, 8%. You wouldn't believe it. Motueka, I haven't talked about, and Citra, but I haven't talked about the Kohia, Kohia. I'm sure there's another New Zealand hop. I'm sure I've had it before, but I don't really know much about it. It's not very common. Maybe that's bringing something into it. And this Sub-Zero hop Kief, which I think is all about really taking the Motueka flavour and amplifying it. And it's a very sort of, I think it's quite an amplified hop already, you know, but if you make it even more amplified, you get some different sensations from it, some slightly different flavours, some slightly different types of lime flavour, if that means anything. But for me, it's given a bit more sweetness to the lime, and I think that's a very good flavour to have. So let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for Gathering. This is a double IPA from Track. It's a very good beer. As I said, you would know Citra, Motueka, Kohia, who knows, and this Motueka Sub-Zero hop Kief. I hope I've pronounced Kief right. It's not Keith, but it's Keif. So it could be Kief. Kief. It's a type of hop blend anyway. It's very good and I really liked it. So let's go through the scores, starting with aroma. Appearance. Flavour. Value for money. This one was about £6.50. And finally, my overall experience. Totting the scores up. It's a highly recommended. Yeah, and if you can remember, if it's 18 above, it's an Iron Maiden of craft beer. It's the heaviest of heavy metal. Definitely worth buying. But as I say, Track makes some very good double IPAs. I do think that some of them are out of this world and some of them are just good. And I think the problem is that so if you have one that's out of this world, then you have another one that's just good. You think it's not great. Yeah, that's how these things work. You know, the consistency is difficult, but like you pay the price if you're getting something a bit better. And I think that they are really all about their double IPAs. Very good. Slides down really well. I've nearly drank this one. Definitely worth drinking. But let me know if you've had any double IPAs from Track recently. Let me know in the comments which ones are very good, because I'm definitely seeking out more double IPAs from Track, because I think they're very good at double IPAs. And until the next video, well, please like and subscribe. It really helps if you subscribe, but it helps even more if you just hit that thumbs up button. It means that the little pixies at YouTube go, oh, we should show this video to more people. It really helps the channel. More people get to see it, and hopefully it sort of, you know, helps me keep the channel going. I'm exhausted. I got excited about this one. I want to sort of go away and really think about it. Now I'm going to be going out and looking on beer shops and going, where can I find more of this hop Kief and see what it's all about. I like it, and I'm sure you will too. And until the next one, you know what you do. Drink good craft beer and keep on rocking.